Breaking the Wall to Science Access for Children and Youth. Laura Jaramillo, EAFIT, Children's University, Colombia.
Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good day. First, I would like to start playing a game with you called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? For this, I would like to ask you, what do you think was the number of researchers per million inhabitants in Colombia in 2021? A, 642, B, 587, C, 429, or D, 341. Please raise your hand if you think the answer is A. Raise your hand if you think the answer is B. Raise your hand if you think the answer is C. And finally, raise your hand if you think the answer is D. The correct answer is D. Thank you for participating. What do you think about these numbers? They are low, isn't it? Well, let me show you the number of researchers per million inhabitants in countries like Argentina and Spain. As you can see, Argentina has 1,182 researchers per million inhabitants, while Spain has 3,109. These numbers show us that Colombia has a little promotion of scientific and technological vocation in children and youth, resulting in a few researchers in the country. That's why in 2005 we created EAFIT Children's University. This is a program where we design active learning experiences for children and youth related to human, exact, and applied sciences. On the last few years, we have developed workshops about questions like how do satellites hold up in space, why is peace so hard to achieve, and how do flowers get their scent. At the beginning of the year, EAFIT Children's University calls public and private schools so they can invite the most curious students to our workshops throughout the year. In each workshop, we use conversation, experimentation, playing, and questioning to children and for children and youth to learn about different topics. Besides, in each workshop, we children and youth have different experiences. To explain this, I'm going to use the workshop, How Do Flowers Get Their Scent? First, children and youth have a conversation with an invited researcher so they can understand through a simple language how do flowers get their scent and how they use it to attract pollination processes. Then they participate on campus activities where they use their bodies and their mind to do exercise about observation and description of flowers. And finally, they participate in lab activities where they understand the structure of flowers through the observation under a microscope. On the last few years, we have impacted 54,742 children and youth through 142 projects outside and on campus. We have improved children and youth relationship with science vocation and education by 86%. Also, we have increased by 90% their interest in knowledge. And finally, we have increased by 99.5% their recognized as knowledge producers. On the last few years, we have not only impacted a lot of participants, we have also learned that first, science requires environments of trust and equality to incorporate children, youth, the government, universities, and all the citizens. Second, curiosity can be used to promote scientific vocations. And finally, the program has a unique methodology that has been shown its effectiveness inside and outside the campus. We have learned that conversation, playing, questioning, and experimenting can make children and youth participate and ask questions like, how do flowers get their scent? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And everyone is so good with the time. We have a first question there.
You said that you've been doing this for 17 years. Do you have any evidence that these students have gone into STEM careers?
Yes, actually, yesterday we were talking about an example. We received an email from a girl who was on our program, and 10 years later, she started engineer, and now she's doing her first publishing in a paper. So it was very exciting for us to know and to understand this type of experiences, and to understand that what we do have an impact on children and youth, and that finally we create scientific and technological vocation in them.
And Luisa.
So I actually have two questions, if it's allowed. The first one is that you mentioned that you pick up the most curious kids, so how you pick up the kids. And the second question is that you said that the program increased 90% of knowledge. How do you evaluate that?
Okay, first with the measure one. Okay, we have a guide to measure the science ability we create in the program, and also we have a battery of indicators to measure science engagement and the creation of scientific vocations. So these tools help us to have these numbers and to understand the impact that we have on children and youth. And the way that we select children and youth, we delegate these criteria to schools. For example, the children that is most curious, the children who like science, or the children who has most interest in topics like science, humanities, or have a lot of questions of a lot of things. The schools select that children, and he participates with us in the activities on campus.
Okay, one quick question from Rebecca.
Thanks very much. Could you tell us a little bit about how the children themselves are involved in the design of the program, the actual content?
Yes, the question that you saw early are questions that children have. So they constantly have been asking about questions like how do satellites hold up in space, why is peace so hard to achieve? Those are questions that children have. So we take that questions and we develop a workshop so they can understand and they can have an answer of the questions that they have.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Laura.